Are brands irrelevant? Welcome back, everybody, my lovelies. If I'm looking down, it's because I'm squirmy baby. Welcome back. I'm in a very talkative mood today, which is a good thing, I think. But there is something. Well, there are a few things I've noticed, but we'll cover all those things, don't worry. There is one thing, though, that has been sticking out to me, and that is that influencer brands are kind of just flopping. Like, Morphe 2, flopping. Skincare by Hyram, or whichever, was it Skincare by Hyram? What was the brand's name even? Like, the only celebrity brands slash actually, I don't think the celebrity brands are flopping. I think the celebrity brands are doing great. Like Give Beauty by Gwen Stefani, Rare Beauty. I think Hailey Bieber is a celebrity at this point. She's married to Justin Bieber. She's reached that status. Rhode Beauty by her, doing super, super well. We recently saw the closure of Jaclyn Hill Cosmetics, which if you had told 2016 beauty YouTube that Jaclyn Hill Cosmetics would I don't think it was a thing back then. If you had told them that it would A, be a thing, and then B, fail within the next 10 years, they would not believe you. They thought Jaclyn Hill would be forever. But it's failing. It closed, along with her other two brands. And that kind of led me to think, are influencer brands just irrelevant? Do they no longer matter? And if they do matter, it's for such a short amount of time that they quickly fail. Like Addison Rae's brand failed. As we already stated, Morphe 2, which was I don't think it was Dixie and Charli D'Amelio's brand, but they were the headliners of it, failed. I feel like Painted by James Charles, it's gonna fail. We all know it's gonna fail. And then there's Jeffree Star Cosmetics, which, again, I feel like it's going to fail. I think they're irrelevant, and there are a few things that I think have to do with this. But let's start with YouTuber brands, because I feel like those were the original. They were the things that kicked off from going from celebrity beauty brands to influencer beauty brands. I want to talk about why I think that is. And I firmly believe in the case of YouTubers, it just has to do with cancellation. If you've been on YouTube for over a decade, you're canceled at this point. I'm sorry, you are. And there's no denying it. I mean, all those big YouTubers, they're over. They're donezo. I feel like Jackie Aina I don't think she's been canceled, and there are a few other ones that are still pretty good, but like James Charles, Jeffree Star, Tati Beauty was another one that it collapsed in flaming lawsuits. And then like Jaclyn Hill Cosmetics, all these brands, I feel like they failed because their owners failed. If we're being honest here, they lost their influence. Being canceled is the influencer equivalent of saying, hey, you might be really good at your job, but we can't excuse your behavior. You're being let go. Because let's be honest here, they were good at their job. Morphe, the whole reason they started doing like discount codes and stuff, it was because of those people. And yes, they had their problems with them being undisclosed, but you cannot deny that these influencers changed the beauty scene. And with that change, they brought with them new brands, which were their own brands. And the problem is that those brands, they could only last as long as those influencers lasted. And those influencers simply did not last very long. You look at it, an average career is 40 years. They lasted about the fourth of an average career. I mean, if you're in the military, it's 20, but even then you're expected to go out and find another job that you do for 20 more years. I am simply saying they are rich, but they did not have successful careers. I think we could look back on it and say, you could argue they had very successful careers. They became millionaires, but yes, financially they were very successful, but long term they were not very successful. And I think if they continue to spend the way that they are spending, They're gonna go broke. I think, okay, maybe Jeffree Star has succeeded at having a pretty long career because he's apparently been around since like MySpace. I didn't know that. I never really was into him. There was just, I didn't like the lack of eyebrows. I feel like you have to have eyebrows for me to trust you, which is why there are times that I don't trust Matt Smith, because the man has no eyebrows. Probably why I really trusted Peter Capaldi. Capaldi? Not 13th, the 12th Doctor. I probably really trusted him because he has very large eyebrows. This was a really random rant, but it's the truth. I could not trust the lack of eyebrows. That's such a weird thing to say, but I cannot trust you if you don't have eyebrows. Anyways, that is my thoughts on why YouTuber brands have failed. Let's get into the TikTok influencers, because they're starting to fail. How is it that these people have been around for like 5 years and their brands are already failing? How? How are you failing after 5 years? And a lot of them, their brands weren't even around, they were around for like 2 years. And I simply believe it's for one reason, and I think it's going to be the downfall of all of these influencers. It's simply that the TikTok algorithm simply so short form content based that we lose interest with these influencers. We are no longer interested in them in 2 years. I mean, the D'Amelios are trying, they really are, but they're being replaced. Same with Addison Rae, and I don't know who was another really, really big one. They are all being replaced. Moved over here a wee bit just so that way you can't see the swing. But I firmly believe that in the next 10 years, we are going to see the D'Amelios become, not even within the next 10 years, I would bargain within the next 2 years. That, like we saw with all the YouTubers, it is going to go their brand, okay? An Instagrammer, a YouTuber, any social media person, their brand will only last however long they are popular, unless they can have these really, really big hero products. I mean, Flower Beauty, I did not even know that was made by Drew Barrymore. Apparently it is. I don't think anyone really noticed though, because I mean, it doesn't have to go off of her name. That is a hugely successful brand. And at the end of the day, they have amazing products. Same thing with Give Beauty. I did not even realize that was Gwen Stefani's brand for forever. And then I heard someone say, it's actually Gwen Stefani's brand. And I was like, what? Because I've heard so many amazing things about that brand. I think Fenty, even as Rihanna begins to, I don't want to say become irrelevant, because I think Rihanna is still massively relevant, but you know, as her time in the limelight, shall we say, begins to wane, Fenty's doing fine. Fenty's going to be a-okay. But I think a lot of these brands from influencers, they're going to have this problem that unless they can create these massively amazing products, their brands are going to fail, and it's only going to go quicker for the ones who are on TikTok. Because TikTok in and of itself, it's designed to create short attention spans. I mean, we can see it with all the generations. I can see it with myself. If I am on TikTok or Instagram too much, I'm not on TikTok, but if I'm on Instagram for too long, I try to sit down the next day and I try to do school, and I'm like having this impulse desire to reach for my phone that I actively have to fight and be like, nah girl, we're focused on schoolwork right now. We're learning about the hot gossip that is the Borgias. That family was insane, people. The Borgia family, insane. Like, where was I getting at? Oh, yeah. TikTok, because it is designed for such short attention spans and to foster and create them, they're going to have a problem creating these long-term brands that are going to last forever. I mean, think about how many brands the D'Amelios have had. It's a lot. It's so many. And it's shocking. No family should be having this many brands. They're like the new Kardashians. And like, I hate to say it, the D'Amelios are already being replaced. I mean, there is Travis Barker's daughter and Jodie Woods. They're already taking over in that it girl scene. I think Hailey Bieber is safe for now, but I could totally see someone else taken over as the next it girl of the clean girl aesthetic. I mean, these people, they don't have long careers. A lot of them, it's like 5 years max on TikTok. And I mean, we're beginning to see 5 years of TikTok being popular. So I firmly believe that this year we're going to see so many of these people just become slightly irrelevant. It's going to be even worse next year, as all those people who were popular during the pandemic, they're going to lose popularity. Now I shall be precariously perched on the edge of my seat. Anyways, I'm honestly waiting for TikTok itself to fail. I'm waiting for all those TikTokers who blew up in the quarantine, like the OG one, 2020. I'm waiting for them to fail because I firmly believe they're going to, because I'm sorry, it's just people don't have the attention span to care about someone for 5 years anymore. Like, I hate to say it, but we used to have that attention span and we just kind of don't anymore, which I think is a shame. I think it's a flaw in society, but what can you do? I don't know. I like to complain about society, so yeah. Then again, I also believe nihilism is immoral, because by doing inaction, you're causing harm still. This is why I speak about these things, because I believe that if I don't speak about them, I'm a bad person. I'm not saying you're a bad person, just for myself individually. I have the not even really the platform, I have the chance to speak about them, and I feel as though I have the passion to do so. So for me personally, if I have the passion, I have the platform and the ability to, I should speak about them. And that's why I'm speaking about them, because influencer brands are irrelevant, and I think the reason is society's failing attention spans, which are going to impact us in more places than just beauty brands. Because at the end of the day, beauty brands don't really matter. But you know what does matter? The intelligence and the creativity of the future generations, and those things are being impacted by short form content, which is why, even though I'm about 8K, nah, more like 7K actually. I have like 7K over on Instagram for, writing content, and sometimes I'm like, I don't want to make short form content anymore, because I'm like, I am contributing to this short attention span. At the same time, I need to market my books, and that's not really a thing on other platforms apart from like short form content. Like, I don't see writers being huge like on any other platform apart from short form platforms. Maybe on Tumblr, but no one's on Tumblr anymore. Do you honestly believe it is a shame that we as a society have just given up on every single type of like long form content? We're just moving towards this short form content, and it's a huge problem, and it's going to affect way more than just these brands. But I think we can look at these brands as an example of the impact of, short form content. And hey, maybe if we bring capitalism into it, people will actually care, because what's the point in changing our behavior if it isn't for money, right? Yeah, if you can't tell, I don't like consumerism. Anyways, those are all my thoughts for now. I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Oh, wait, we normally do what we're going to do. I'm going to do more of this stuff. Bye, and take care of that baby.